אוקיי, אז בוקר טוב לכולם. אנחנו ממשיכים בסדרת המפגשים שלנו של מיטל, נצנוץ טכנולוגי. היום אנחנו נעסוק בכלי בריסק, ילנה כאן איתנו, תציג לנו את הכלי. זה בעצם תוסף לכרום, ואיך אתם יכולים להשתמש בו לצורכי הוראה. כמו שאמרתי, בעצם זה המשך של סדרת מפגשים, שעוסקים בהטמעה של כלים טכנולוגיים בהוראה. היום אנחנו מציגים את בריסק, יש לנו גם שבוע הבא, וגם בחודש פברואר אנחנו הצגנו מגוון של כלים, אתם יכולים לראות אותם באתר שלנו, וכמובן להירשם לאירועים נוספים. אלי, כמה מילים? אלי מנהל מיטל.
בוקר טוב לכולם, אז בעיקר להגיד בוקר טוב וסדנה מוצלחת, ותודה לאלנה שהתגייסה בהתראה כזו לשתף איתנו פעולה בסדנה הזאת. אנחנו, כפי שעדי הציגה, אנחנו מנסים דרך הסדנאות וסדרת המפגשים האלו כל יום שני לקדם את הנושאים של סל הטכנולוגיות ואת הכלים שנמצאים בסל, לחשוף יותר ויותר טכנו-פדגוגיים, טכנולוגיים ומרצים לכלים האלו, ואנחנו נשמח אם גם תכירו את הסל לעומק, גם תמליצו על דברים וגם תגידו לנו מה נכון יותר ומה מדויק יותר לשימוש במוסדות. אני מזכיר שהוצאנו קול קורא לכנס מיטל לפני שבוע וחצי. כל מי שיש לו איזשהו חדשנות טכנולוגית, שימוש, case study מוצלח במוסדות או מחקר, מוזמנים להגיש לכנס. הכנס הוא קיים ביולי, והוא כנס עם לא מעט משתתפים, אז אתם מוזמנים גם להשתתף, וכמובן שאנחנו לעקוב אחריהם, כפי שעדי אמרה, בפעילויות שלנו. אז שיהיה בוקר מוצלח, ותודה לאלנה ועדי על ארגון היום הזה. בוקר טוב.
תודה אלי, ילנה, במה שלך.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I will jump right into demonstration. So if you want me to switch to Hebrew, I can also try and do it in Hebrew. I usually do these workshops in English. So the Chrome extension that I'm going to show you today is called Brisk. So what I'm asking you to do before I share my screen, just Google the word Brisk Teaching, find it, and you will see what I'm going to show you in a moment. If I understand correctly, at the right, we planned that I will demonstrate a few things for the first half an hour, and then we will leave some time for questions and also practical trial and error from the participants. So you have some time to experiment with the tool. So I hope you already found the tool on Google. Please share the link to the tool in the chat, those who found it, okay? And I will share my screen and show what I want us to do today. So I'm gonna go to Google just to begin from scratch. And this is my screen. Okay, so I'm gonna search for Brisk on Google, okay? So Brisk Teaching, the first thing that comes out is this. This is a Chrome extension, and it's very easy. I'm gonna show you just from the beginning. Imagine this is my my Gmail. I have no Chrome extension, so I'm adding it right now in front of you to show how easy that is. I'm gonna click on Add to Chrome and Add extension. Now it's gonna be added to my list of extensions. And the next step that is important is now to sign in with my Google, with my Gmail, okay? So I'm going to hit on sign in, and I'm going to sign in. Okay, now I'm connected to Brisk, and Brisk connected to my Gmail. You know what? I'm going to skip this whole introduction and explanation who I am. You can also skip that, just saving time. Click next. Now, this little demonstration actually shows you what you need to do, and I will also do it with you. So basically, you need to make sure that you click on this puzzle icon of your extensions icon, and make sure that you pin the Brisk extension so that it appears on your toolbar, right? Can you see that in the corner of my screen? If anyone loses me for a moment, just let me know. I can stop and I can go back and force unmute yourself. If really I can repeat whatever steps that you miss. Okay, so this is now on my Google. And I'm going to skip the rest of the introduction because basically all we needed is add this and it's already there. Now this demonstration shows you that now when you are browsing on the internet, the Brisk extension is not going to only be there on top, it's also going to be appearing on your screen, and it's actually fluid. You can put it anywhere on your screen that you like. You will see it in a moment. So you will have access to Brisk from two places, from top and from somewhere on your screen. Usually it's the bottom corner, right corner, but you can also move it up and down, and sometimes you have several extensions, so they start accumulating on your screen, and this might happen to Brisk too. So let's move on to the next step. This is something I will demonstrate in a second. So basically, let's begin with the actual exploration of the tool. I'm going to close this, so I don't need to show you this demonstration. I'll just go to Google, and I will Google the topic that I need to teach, or the topic that I need to research. So I don't know, I guess that probably the majority, most of you are from higher education. I'm also a lecturer in higher education. I teach EMI courses. This could be disciplinary courses that I teach in English, or I teach English for academic purposes for international communication. I also do teacher training in several colleges as like training teachers to become teachers, and all kinds of professional development things. So sometimes I need to find articles, materials for my students. Now, being an English teacher, for me, this tool is absolutely amazing, but also for other disciplines, you could find it interesting, because if you do, it works with research, it works with any text in any language. Actually, you can work with Hebrew with Brisk. So I'm going to just Google some kind of topic that I need, probably something from vocabulary acquisition. So I'm going to Google vocabulary knowledge versus use. You know that sometimes people know more words than they use. And this probably is one of the important issues when we, and you know what, I'm thinking now, maybe I should Google it in Google Scholar just to show you that you can actually find academic sources. Let me do that. I'm going to go to Google Scholar and Google the same thing. So some articles, let's find some academic sources, some academic articles on the topic of vocabulary use as opposed to vocabulary knowledge. I'm going to enlarge my screen a little bit. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to hit the first article that I get here. I think I'm familiar with this research. It's okay. And look what happens to our Brisk extension. It's right here. You see, I told you it's going to appear somewhere in the corner. So once text appears on the screen, text that Brisk can read and interact with, the extension will show up. If there is no text on the screen, you will not see Brisk. So I don't have to highlight anything. I assume that Brisk has access to all of this article. And let's see that we actually read full text. Can we read full text? Or is it not full, I just opened this full access. Now it shows me that I need to, let's see if I have another article like this with, and I will just, maybe I'll just open it in another window where I don't have to, let's see if this one is full access. This is a book, sorry. I want to show you like how it works with the full text when the text is on the screen when you have an account. So let's see if this will give me the access to the text. No, okay, this is asking to pay. You can access any of these resources from your institution account for sure, and it will work. So this is probably what happened to me here. I accessed the same article from my institution account, perhaps, because I can see that I have access to the full thing, you see. The article is here and Brisk is here. So I'm just in another window, so let me just remove this because it's too many tabs. Now we are just in the article that I found on Google Scholar. It's a different article. Never mind, just an article, random article. The topic here is what will determine students' success when they take courses in English, right, as a medium of instruction. And we're talking about disciplinary courses. What if they take, I don't know, in mathematics and study this in English, right? How do we know the students can succeed? This is, I guess, the topic of the article, 2023. So what can Brisk do with this information? And this is where it comes pretty amazing. First of all, you can change level. And without reading the whole thing, you can just hit on change level and choose the level of English. Now it shows you 12 grade levels from, like, you know, for native speakers. So you could potentially take the information from this article and make it accessible to native speakers in the first grade, right? First graders English, which means that the language of the output is going to be extremely simplistic, right? It will extract information that is suitable to kids, age appropriate, but also to the level of the language. So if I want this article to be simplified for me, for like academic, I would go for a higher grade, 10th, 11th, 12th. I don't mind if it's even 10th grade, right? Imagine a 15-year-old native speaker of English. Their English is enough for me. Like it's high enough for me to get this simplified academic article, and I want the summary. So the best thing about Brisk is that it works directly with your Google Drive. So when you click on change reading level, that's what I'm doing now, it will create a Google document for me. And it takes the article, it provides the reference to the original article, and it summarizes the content appropriate to the level. So if anyone here is, you see it stopped for some reason here, I don't know why, but I can also hit on make it longer, and I can ask for a more detailed summary. It will begin from the beginning. Look what happens when I hit make longer. It actually extracts the titles and subtitles of the article, and it's amazing because it actually now provides the introduction to what is EMI. And sometimes participants in my professional development webinars and workshops are asking this question. So I can actually use this information, use this language when I talk about these things. Predicting success in EMI classes. And it broke down, like it took the whatever 12-20 page article and cut it down to this, right? So again, I think this is the most amazing tool for actually English teachers. If you teach English and if you're looking for content, you can take any article online, any website, blog, whatever, and create different texts around this, right? Create different material around this. I also actually showed this tool to my students who either learn English or they take a course, a disciplinary course, I don't know, in soft skills, and they need to present something. And they, for example, have the slides and they don't know exactly what to say about each slide. So Brisk can help with that too. It can take your slides and actually produce a text describing the slides. So I can demonstrate that. So the first use case is just changing the level of the text, and it works with either websites or articles that you have full access to. You can also highlight information and work with particular part of the article. So let's go, for example, to I think this is like a picture. That's why it's very, very small. This article is not complete. So I'm going to take another one about knowledge. And is this the knowledge? No, 1 second, this one. Okay, so this one is longer and actually has more text, yeah? Right, vocabulary knowledge, vocabulary use. So I have access to the whole thing. And let me show you what Brisk can do with this. So for example, now I don't want to rewrite the text. I want to create a quiz about this article. So what I showed you in the previous demonstration is how you can create a new text in a Google Doc that drops into your Google Drive immediately. Now let's create a quiz on this article from Brisk. And I will ask for, high-level questions, the highest possible in this particular app, multiple choice. Let's say I want 15 questions, and I want the questions to be in English. You can actually ask questions in Hebrew. if you teach a course in Hebrew and if you use English articles and if you want to generate a quiz on a reading for your course, you can do a quiz in Hebrew. I'm going to do it in English just to make sure the results are not funny. But go ahead and test it with the language of your preference. So I'm gonna hit. You see, I don't even have to write any prompts. It's so brilliant. It actually already has a prompt like ready for us. Create a quiz about this web page, and this web page is an article that I found in the library. I actually found it on Google Scholar, not in the library. So I'm gonna hit next, and now this is something that actually blew my mind. For those of you who use Moodle, maybe it's less exciting, but some institutions don't use Moodle. And I don't know how they create quizzes, but for example, in school settings, when I train teachers to teach, I don't know, in high school, I tell them you can use Google Forms for quizzes or exercises. So this tool actually creates a quiz Google form for you in no time. So let's do it. Let's Brisk it, and you'll see how it works. It takes my Google Drive, it opens a new Google form and creates a quiz based on the article. Isn't it genius? Like, it saves so much time. And I asked for 15 questions, and 15 questions are here. You could begin a lesson by, testing your students and seeing what they understood and didn't understand from the article. It could be in Hebrew, as I said. Now, you don't have to do anything because when you're going into the question, they already marked the correct answer, okay? And it's going to get a point if they do it right. You can even launch this as anonymous quiz. It doesn't have to be assessment, right? It can be a learning progress or checking comprehension exercise in class. It doesn't have to be an exam or a test. It could be just give them something to read and just give it to them and see what they answer without even names, right? And seeing the results, because you have the statistics of responses and you can immediately see what answers you get. So the quiz is ready for you like that, very, very easy. And this is not it, it's just the beginning. So we have those quizzes. You can then continue and ask for more questions, multiple choice or long responses, short responses. Brisk can extract keywords and generate word lists for you. And then you can ask for a quiz or an exercise with the vocabulary from the material that you teach. So this is pretty powerful, right? You have those Google Forms integration. I think this is genius. Another idea that I had, and it actually worked, you can ask Brisk again to create a quiz, but instead of asking it for a quiz about this webpage, you can ask to create a survey. To conduct a similar research. I don't know if there is. I haven't looked into the article, but the idea is that you can have Brisk actually write surveys for you, like when you do research and when you need to collect data. Some researchers actually use Google Forms for data collection, so you can ask Brisk to create survey questions for you. Survey questions. Let's put survey questions based on the article. In this case, since I'm changing the angle from just asking students questions on their article, I'm now going to ask Brisk to create survey questions for me based on this article. And I'm gonna see, well, survey questions can also be, in survey questions, it could be multiple choice. I don't know if it's multiple choice. It should be probably short responses, right? Depending on your survey, but you could generate some questions. This is, again, for research ideas, right? If you have an article and you want to do a similar replication study or whatever, you can ask for short responses, for example, 10 questions. Let's test this live, okay? Let's go, and you can actually create it in Google Doc. Let's do it with Google Doc, because you don't have to necessarily work with forms. You can create questions in a Google Doc as well. And then it will give you the answer key and everything. You can then copy paste the questions. Okay, so it generated some questions. Let's see, let's make it more difficult, or less difficult, or longer, or shorter, or translate into Hebrew, or Spanish, or I don't know, French. We can add more questions, and we can ask for an answer key. Let's ask for an answer key first. Add on an answer key for this quiz about next. Brisket. It's going to continue the same document with the answer key. If yeah. No, I think this time it created a multiple choice question with the answer key. Okay. So it's not exactly what I envisioned, because I asked for some survey questions, but again, maybe the article is not appropriate. So for like conducting surveys and future research, let's make it more difficult. Okay, and then it's supposed to produce some questions that are more difficult, okay? I personally am very excited about this Google extension. It works really, really nicely, and it does a great job. I mean, for me, an English teacher, and whatever other disciplines I teach, it is very interesting. So let's explore some other things. So I showed you how it works with simplifying or rewriting information from the internet. It actually also it knows how to extract the images. So if you just go to a regular website, let's go back to this account, and instead of vocabulary knowledge versus use, and maybe we are here and not in a Google Scholar, right? What about exploring not a Google Scholar, but just a regular article like this somewhere online? Okay, so we have an article online, and I want to show you that sometimes Brisk knows how to, let's download free trial. I don't know why this ad. Okay, so for some reason, I don't see Brisk on my screen. So what happens if you don't see Brisk on your screen? You can highlight text and it's supposed to show up somewhere. I don't know, let's see, am I connected? Yeah, now it's here. So this is, all kinds of troubleshooting, because you will probably face similar issues. Sometimes it's just not on your screen for some reason, but the solution is to highlight the part of the text that you want to work with, or all of it, like select all or something like that, more reading. So let's stop here, click on it, and I'll show you some other things that you could do with Brisk. For example, you can create a resource, you can create an exemplar. Exemplar is a nice way to create some sample, material that you want your students to rely on. When you ask for something, you want them to look at the perfect example of something. So Brisk can generate that for you. Lesson plans, decodable text, something else, you can just go and explore your own ideas. I want to show you something really, really exciting that just showed up a few days ago, literally. This is now integrated with Google Slides. And imagine I have this text and I want to present it. I want to present it in class, or I want my students to create a presentation and create an outline. So now with the presentation integration, they click on presentation and it's free. It's in free version. You don't have to have any paid account here. You can create in free account slides without images. So they will have to add their own images from Google Slides or PowerPoint. You can choose a template. There are several templates, not so many for now, but doable. And I want a presentation in English. Or you know what, for those of you who don't teach in English, let's create a presentation in Hebrew on an article in English. And we can ask for up to 20 slides, okay, which is a lot. Let's stick to, I don't know, 10 slides and Brisket. I'm going to allow Brisk to have access to my Google Slides. Okay. For some reason, it didn't understand that I was already connected. So now Google Slides magic. supposed to work. I don't know if the Hebrew is good enough because the AI and Hebrew are not the best friends yet. And particularly with Brisk, I don't know. I see that the alignment needs to be adjusted for Hebrew, but it does the job. I mean, it took an article on the internet, it creates some slides for me, and I need just to critically assess the information, of course, rewrite it. And but I'm not starting from a blank screen from like no slides. I have already some slides and I can just go and change the template and whatever. What if I want some keywords from this article? I can click on vocabulary list. Look, just pay attention to those popping up, because once something is over, you will have a new prompt to generate either more slides or a quiz about these slides. You can ask for a translation, you can ask for additional resource for a lesson or vocabulary list. So let's create a vocabulary list with definitions based on the presentation above. Let's do it for, again, for the highest level of English or any level of any language. Multiple choice, let's make it multiple choice, 10 questions. Next, and again, we can generate it with Google form, which is pretty amazing. Let's do it, Brisk it. I'm gonna create a Google, so since it's another account, it actually asks me to connect because it's the first time I'm connecting Brisk to my Google Slides, my Google Forms, my Google Docs, that's why. Let's continue. And once you actually, let's see, I don't know why it's trying to introduce Brisk again, because it's a new account. But once you actually give it your name and not your name, sorry, your context, and you explain which subject, which area you come from, which kind of students you work with, it's supposed to give you better results, more customizable. Okay, let's see. So it created, I don't know if it's, yeah, it actually created a quiz about vocabulary. Look, it extracted some words. What is the definition of vocabulary? What is the definition of lexical collocations? What is the meaning of depth of vocabulary as opposed to the breadth of vocabulary? So it actually extracted some key terminology from the article. What is the definition of implicit learning and then explicit learning, and internal linguistic system and language proficiency and context and connotation? Beautiful. You know, thinking about my students, I would love for them to know the answers to all of these questions. So why not? It's a quiz. It took me 2 seconds to create. So do you have any questions so far? Because I have some other wow things to present. So I've shown you how to work with text and extract or make them easier for you. Rewrite the text, the articles with Google Doc, and then you can generate Google form quizzes, exercises with this, and maybe surveys for research. I tried it with another article. It actually produced a nice survey. And there is also integration with Google Slides. So you can actually generate slides based on the text online. There is another cool feature I'm going to show you in a minute, but I want to ask if there are any questions.
There are some questions in the chat.
Okay, so how can I use PDF files? So PDF files, there is no, since it's a Google Chrome extension, right? In order to have access to your PDF, you would need to literally select the text, copy and paste in the document, and upload it to your Google Drive. Once you have your Google Drive, which is not PDF, like readable text, then it can interact with this. But you know, there are other, even maybe better tools for working with PDF files if you want to work with PDF files directly. So Brisk is not created for PDF files, but if you can maybe find the same article that you have in PDF in an open access through the library, right? Log in through your institution and you can find it in open access. Like I found an article here with, I don't know, modeling something, and it worked. Then yes, directly it doesn't work with PDF files. It works with many different languages. I see there is a question about languages. So can you send me Yeah, if you send me a link to something that interests you specifically in another language, I can test. But that's I guess the meaning of this meeting. So once you have it, try to test it with different things. I guess I don't know for 100% how well it works with other languages. I know that it translates, so it's supposed to work with the language of your choice. The quality, I don't know. With English, it works very well. Okay. Can Brisk suggest right answers to open-ended questions? Good question. And I think we can test this. We can ask for, let's see, we have this, for example, presentation. We can go and create a quiz about this presentation. It keeps logging me in, so that's why all these messages, sign in, continue. It's still not getting that I'm signed in, so one moment, continue. Okay, I get it. I guess I'm now finally, no, it wants me to go through this like kind of filling in the information, and I'm trying to skip it because I'm saving time, but then it kicks me out. So I'll go back to another account here, and I will create a quiz here. So create a quiz, and you can create instead of multiple choice short answers, and then ask for an answer key, I guess. Let's see. Let's test this, but I actually want to show you another application of this tool. Not only it works really well with documents like online text. So this is answer. Let's see if it can generate the key as well. Let's hit answer key. Add on an answer key to the quiz above. And next, let's see if it will do that. Brisk it. The prompt sounds right because this is what we want. We just want to add on the answer key. It didn't get it. It rewrote the. Okay, it did. It actually rewrote.
I think when you ask for answer key, it goes automatically to multiple choice.
Yeah, but then you can change it. So I also I noticed that. I changed to short answers, and now it actually gave me a quiz. You see, it actually rewrote the quiz again with the same questions, I guess, with the place for students to answer, but also there is an answer key to that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so it works. Now, one more beautiful and interesting application of Brisk is that it works with YouTube. It works with YouTube videos. So let's test it with YouTube. Once you are in a YouTube video of your choice, so I found a YouTube about benefits of EMI. I'm looking for benefits of EMI, trying to persuade teachers who now trying to teach in English that it's a good thing. And Brisk here also works with videos. And you see now when we are on YouTube, it will be highlighted in red, like the branding of YouTube. So again, apologies for the amount of the tabs that you see. It's just multitasking, working in so many different, now it's clean and nice. So again, this Brisk is floating all over your screen. Let's make sure that the video has transcript. Yes, so some YouTube videos, the minority these days, still don't have transcribed. They're not transcribed. So for some reason, AI doesn't have access to the transcript of the video. But I think the majority now are transcribed. Even if you don't do anything, it automatically transcribes, right? So YouTube already did all the decoding. And this is just a random video that I found. And you can actually do all of the same things that you did with the text. You can do with the video. So you can change level. You can extract the information from the video in the format of a Google Doc. Let's do it. So it will extract the video information in the form of a text. That's the first application. Takes time. Big picture, YouTube. Okay, music. Welcome to our video lecture. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted, but it actually maybe extracted the, you know, you need to go over it, but it's a good thing if you can't watch the video for some reason. What else can we do? It's loading data. Let's see. What if I want to create a quiz on this video? It can do that too. So let's go to, maybe make it easier. 8th grade, multiple choice, questions in English or in Hebrew. Let's test this again. And let's make it in Google form. So let's see. It's now supposed to take the video in English and extract, you know, the content and create, automatically generate Google form exercise quiz with multiple choice and all correct answers marked as being correct. Let's see. Wow, I love this. How is EMI different from clean? These are all relevant questions. Probably you guys don't know the answers to as well. Wow, wow, wow. According to the video, what type of content is often written in English? Science, mathematics, history, physical education. Who knows? We need to watch the video to answer that question, right? These are excellent questions for listening comprehension. If we talk about English teaching, where students need to listen to a video, to a podcast, and answer the questions. Isn't it amazing? I think it's wow. Okay, and one last thing, you can even generate Google Slides. You can generate a presentation based on a YouTube video. How cool is that? Okay, let's do this. We want to generate some slides, higher level English, without the images, because we're on a free trial. It's not a trial, it's just free forever account for educators. It's free. And let's make a dark template this time, Brisk it. I hope you already have installed it on your Chrome and you're ready for your own exploration. Because once you start playing around with the tool, you will see how many things you can do now. Wow, nice. This could be the, you know, the beginning, the starting point for my next professional development training slides. You see, this all explains what EMI stands for and why this is beneficial. And it's all research proven, because the video, I mean, the source of the video is of higher university, and it's a very successful, very high quality course. And you can find, you know, YouTube videos from big universities around the world, right? That have the relevant content to what you teach. So definitely go for YouTube sources that you can trust. Understanding EMI, English as a medium of instruction, introduction, EMI versus other instructional models, goals of EMI programs. And you see, I didn't read anything. I didn't even watch a YouTube video, and I have all this information. And since I have enough background and expertise, I can just read the slides and decide, yeah, I want to talk about this, and I know this is correct and this is good. EMI teaching strategies, EMI in science and research, conclusions. I'm really, really impressed with how Brisk extension works, and that's why I really wanted to share this with you. And there are other things that I can talk, because I believe that this is so beneficial, not only to us teachers, even though it's called Brisk Teaching. I actually literally have to show, I shared with my students, because students particularly struggle with English, and they also need to create content in English. They need to present presentations in English, and they need help with generating quality slides and also generating notes for their slides. So Brisk is amazing in how it can take complex information and rewrite it at a very accessible level, so that students with lower level English can actually deliver the content in the presentation scenario, right? We can go on and create a quiz about it. It's like you can go on and on and on and on and on and work with, create more resources. You can ask for more slides. Let's ask for more slides. Create more slides for this presentation on the same topic. I don't know why it asks me for multiple choice. This is strange. Create more slides, right? 6th grade, I don't know. Let's keep it higher level. Next. No, it didn't. So this is a glitch, right? There was create more slides, but then it wanted to create some questions. So it doesn't work 100% smoothly, but from my experience, it actually has been really, really good. Okay, so do you have any other questions or ideas or suggestions? Because there is no daily limit that I know of. What about copyright? When I create a presentation based on someone else's article, can Brisk alert about copyright issue? So this is where, I mean, it depends on the use case. So I've personally used AI generated presentations for language practice purposes. So we just needed some information on the slides and we just needed some language for students to say. So basically I didn't have to go deep into ethics and plagiarism and citations, because this would normally be my oral practice exercise, so that the slides are immediately ready for you and you also know what to say because Brisk has produced the notes for you. But you're absolutely right that when you take this tool maybe to a higher level, up to a higher academic level for real presentations, research, even student seminar papers and work, of course you need to credit everything you write, every sentence that there is on your slide. You need to explain where it came from and who supports this, what kind of research. So for that, we also have AI, and I think Ellie has shown us a plan for future sessions. There is another tool called Perplexity and Space, and there is Consensus. There are the three, and Elicit, four tools that just come on top of my head that actually work with academic citations, and it can write information for you, citing the academic source for each sentence. So there is AI for that. You will learn about it in the following Mondays, I guess. But yeah, you can do that too if you're interested. I'm looking at some other questions. Can you write the name of 4 other tools in the chat? Yeah, I can do that. Perplexity is the first one, Perplexity AI. We will have a session about it. And the other 3 would be Elicit and Consensus AI. I don't know if it's Consensus AI and Scibase search. You see AI search engine for research. And the number 4 is called Scibase. It's also pretty brilliant because it can compare the articles. It extracts the information, so it's still in the old website. But the name of the tool is Scibase. So you just write the topic or write your research question, and it extracts information from articles, from database of articles, from PDFs, from everything, and compares does the literature review for you. Okay, but we're digressing from the topic. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. We have 15 minutes for either additional questions or you practicing with the tool. And what do you think? What do you say? Your reactions about Brisk? Would you try it? Do you think you could see yourself implementing it?
I would.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Very useful. Certainly we'll try it. Yes, it's totally worth trying. At least maybe it's not 100% there yet. It will be improved, like getting improved every day. The presentation feature, the Google Slides feature, is very, very recent. It's very interesting that you can now integrate everything. I think the idea that you get everything in your Google Drive, for some people it could be a distraction and they will not like it. For me personally, it was a real interesting way AI can actually integrate into where I am already. Like I'm using Google Drive Slides, and my students use Google Slides, so why not have a tool for that? I am using Google Docs, obviously all of us are perhaps, and this is very convenient that you don't have to copy and paste, right, every time from ChatGPT or even from Magic School. So this is amazing. No, it doesn't connect to Facebook or other socials. It's literally just a little extension sitting on your Google Chrome. Okay, I understand your question. Like analyzing posts. Yeah, Faina, I actually did that. I went into a Facebook group, and there was a post there about the AI and ethics and the use of AI tools in higher education, and of course there are tons of opinions. So yes, if you highlight text, it doesn't matter if it's on social media, it can extract the information. But then it depends what you want to do. Do you want to create a quiz on the Facebook post, or do you want to have this written in a different language, right? On a level of your choice, right? For 5th graders, for 10th graders, whatever. Yeah, and then comments as well. That's exactly what I wanted. So there was this thread of like 300 comments. And sometimes I get lost because they are interesting comments and I want to have them. So Brisk is not ideal for that because I mean, what can you do with Brisk is not a research tool, right? It can extract information, rewrite the text for you, it can create slides for you, and it can create a questionnaire for you. So when I analyzed Facebook, a thread of comments, I actually just copied everything, put it in ChatGPT, and asked ChatGPT to create a table to summarize the comments into like pro and against, like benefits and drawbacks, like all kinds of comparison. And I asked, it first actually rewrote it and said, okay, this person said this and this person said that. And I said, no, I want actual quotes. And it created a beautiful table with the quotes. So I can show that to you. It's pretty awesome what it turned out, but yeah. You can do it with Facebook API instead. There was something I actually tried highlighting, and it said that I now that I'm thinking, Brisk didn't work on Facebook. It told me that Facebook protects the text on their website. It cannot access it. So the price for the Pro version, I don't think we need the Pro version because Pro version works. I think it's targeted towards districts like in the United States with schools. They're actually targeting to education, institutions, not personal teacher, like individual users. So as an institutional Pro account, which is not free, the additional features that you get, well, you might find them interesting. I don't know, because I think they are currently the only way to detect plagiarism. I think we need another session for that because Brisk, again, it's in paid version only, so I can show you what it does. It's pretty amazing. It's also in the demonstration video. And I don't know the price. I have no idea. I've never purchased a Pro version, but I know that it exists because all those, Facebook discussions about plagiarism actually mentioned Brisk, and that's how I learned about the tool myself. So in order to fight plagiarism, there is a way for you to generate progress reports. What means progress reports takes actually, which as you see, it's locked. It takes the students' Google Doc and it creates a video of how they, it takes all the history logs from Google Doc and creates a video of how they wrote their essay, paper, thesis, whatever. So basically, in order for this to work for you to track like plagiarism, which I don't think any teacher has time for, and I don't believe in that, but that's how people, that's what people discuss on Facebook, educators, higher education, professionals who are concerned with plagiarism. So this is their solution, to go and use Brisk, and it creates a video that shows how students wrote literally, like wrote, rewrote, what they delete, what they add. And then you can actually track some chunks being added. So if they generate a paragraph with ChatGPT and insert it into Google Doc, it will show in the video, right? But then another person comments in the same thread and say, okay, there is another tool, there is another software that can dictate to Google Doc everything that ChatGPT wrote, and it looks like a student is typing, but they're not. So there is a way around, like there is a way of cheating for anything. So I don't believe in this kind of policing techniques, but it's an interesting approach. So the rubrics, these are the pro features that are locked for like paid version. I don't know if we need them. I don't believe in syllabus produced by AI. I can produce a much better syllabus with even ChatGPT. I can ask for ideas. I can create some outlines. I can put things together, and you don't need a Brisk for syllabus, honestly. But I don't know if you have, if your institution wants to pay and check this out, go for it. I don't know, rubric, practice test. I don't know what state practice test. It's literally like targeted to the United States, because when you go into quiz generation, for example, and you want to generate questions, there are some standards, and I actually like them when I use the trial version. I don't think I have access to this. You see, it's like locked. But there are different states, Alabama, whatever, Connecticut, Georgia, and they have great standards for different, you know, for English, for science, for math, for language arts, and you can choose interesting standards to guide your quizzes, to guide your question generation, which is pretty neat. But again, this is the paid version only. You can try it in a trial, because everyone gets a free 14-day trial when they sign up. Any other questions or comments?
טוב, תודה רבה, ילנה. Thank you very much. ההקלטה תופיע באתר מיטל, אנחנו גם נשלח לכם מייל מסכם, תראו אותה שם. תודה רבה לכולם, תודה שהשתתפתם, מקווה שהיה מעשיר ומעניין, ותיישמו את זה. המשך יום נעים, להתראות.
תודה רבה.